This is Fieldsports Channel News. Fieldsports groups are preparing to mount a defence to protect shooting. Basque is leading the fight to lobby ministers to prevent changes which could punish legitimate shooters. The Countryside Alliance says following the Plymouth inquest, calls for a change in firearms licensing laws are largely misguided. The inquest heard that police granted the killer, Jake Davison, his certificate despite his history of violence. The Alliance says the UK firearms legislation is already among the strictest in the world. It is calling for the government to consider including the responsibility to deal with police firearms inquiries in GPs' NHS contracts. Basque says this could have made a fundamental difference in the Davison case.
The key thing about medical involvement is that it needs to be made mandatory. It needs to be part of the NHS contract for GPs. They need to know that they must do this, and that by doing this, they're not just giving some assistance to people who have firearm and shotgun certificates, they're actually protecting the wider community. And also, I think people who are certificate holders, they need protecting now from this potential knee-jerk reaction, because once again, this is a systemic failure in policing which has caused this tragedy.
2 poachers have been banned from owning or keeping dogs for the next 3 years under new laws. Colchester magistrates issued disqualification orders after the pair each admitted a charge of daytime trespass in pursuit of game. It's believed to be a national first. Magistrates made the order after hearing both men had travelled to the Saffron Walden area from South London with dogs which were to be used to poach game. When interviewed by officers at the scene, one admitted he'd gone to the land to pursue rabbits, while the other claimed to be walking his dog. Officers seized a vehicle. They were also fined £320 with court costs of £205 and a victim surcharge of £128. MPs at Westminster have been debating a petition calling for the Woodcock season to be shortened. While Justice collected more than 107,000 signatures, it wants the opening of the Woodcock shooting season to be pushed back to the beginning of December instead of the 1st of October in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and the 1st of September in Scotland. Shooting organisations argue that climate change and habitat loss are the main reasons for the decline in UK woodcock, which are common across Europe and Asia and found as far as Japan. At the end of the debate, Environment Minister Trudy Harrison concluded that Natural England will be making recommendations based on the science.
What the petition completely failed to do was, mention any of the serious issues that are causing the decline of woodcock in the UK. There's data, there's research out there, and what that shows is that the issue that woodcock are facing is exactly the same as quite a lot of wildlife, not just in the UK but globally, and that is a loss of their habitat.
As rewilding fever grips the UK Tory party, the government says it will not release wolves and lynx. Environment Secretary Therese Coffey told farmers at the NFU conference that she will not support the reintroduction of the animals to help control the rising deer populations. Farmers point out that large predators, including recently introduced sea eagles, kill livestock. SABS have attacked a police force for appointing a PC to its rural crime team who has connections with a trail hunt. Anti say the police constable's role is corrupt because she rides out with the Avon Vale and Beaufort hunts. SABS say it's a conflict of interest, but Wiltshire Police says there is nothing illegal about an officer being affiliated with a hunt. Thanks to Mark Corney for the story. Plans for a fishing ban at Northumberland's Holy Island are to be dropped. The Westminster government has been looking at designating it a highly protected marine area, HPMA, which would have banned fishing around the island, also called Lindisfarne. Local anglers and residents say it would devastate the local economy and launched a campaign to prevent it. Berwick MP Anne-Marie Trevelyan tweeted a copy of a letter she received from Therese Coffey, stating DEFRA would not choose Lindisfarne as the site. A university study reveals that badgers beat up foxes and hedgehogs in vicious fights over scraps in gardens. Scientists at Nottingham Trent and Brighton University examined videos taken by the public to investigate interactions between different species and to find out which came out on top. They found that food left in gardens can benefit wild animals, but can also attract predators. One finding was that hedgehogs won more fights than researchers expected. In Australia, shooters have set up a fighting fund to challenge the government of Victoria over the duck season. Labour-led Victoria announced it had reduced the duck season in the state from 90 days to 35 days. There is also a bag limit of 4 birds a day for the season, which runs from the 26th of April 2023 to the 30th of May. Australia Field and Game is appealing for donations to fight the announcement. Wetter than average conditions created ideal breeding conditions for the ducks this season. Thanks to Paul Sly for the story. And finally, 6 runners are taking part in this year's London Marathon to raise money for the Countryside Alliance Foundation. The cash collected will help 2 projects. The Fishing for Schools initiative takes disadvantaged youngsters out of the classroom to gain new skills through fishing. More than 3,500 children have tried fishing thanks to the project. Money will also go to Castaway, which supports people with cancer.
I will be lacing up my trainers to raise funds for 2 key projects. Fishing for Schools takes disadvantaged children out of the classroom, helping to build confidence and a sense of achievement through fishing. Castaway supports men and women affected by all types of cancer to improve their physical and mental health through fishing and time spent in the countryside. For more information, or if you would like to donate, please click the link.
You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.